Hey, what's up, guys? Today is Thursday. It is January 7th, and your assignment for the day is the nitrogen cycle review. So, again, those of us that were here last semester with me, this is a definite review for you, but those of you that were maybe with another teacher or maybe brand new, this might be kind of new for you. So, the video that goes with the assignment is only a few minutes long, but please watch that as well, especially if you are brand new or if this is still kind of difficult for you, because it's just good to see this again. I don't want you just hearing it one time from me and then being confused, not wanting to post any questions or anything. So or tomorrow as well, when we have our live class, please come join us and have some questions ready if you want, and let's get those answered for you. Okay, so taking a look at this diagram, I don't want to say it's totally different than the carbon cycle, right? Like, this doesn't show any animals in it, but when I explain it, we're gonna talk about how animals are incorporated in this as well. But it really is similar to the carbon cycle because this is an element, and its atoms are being cycled through the atmosphere, the earth, the plants, the animals, and it's a continuous cycle. So this is similar to the carbon cycle, but there are some different steps, so it's important that we know the differences. It's also important to kind of talk about why nitrogen is so important for us. Nitrogen is in our proteins, it's in our DNA, and if we did not have nitrogen, we wouldn't have life like we know it. So having this nitrogen in the atmosphere, we can't take it out of the atmosphere, but life forms have evolved that have changed that nitrogen into a way that we can use it. And in turn, we've evolved to use this nitrogen in our DNA. And DNA is, the building blocks of our life. DNA is in all of our cells. It makes us who we are. My DNA is different from a banana's DNA, right? Like the DNA is the blueprints of what makes us us. So if we didn't have nitrogen, it's not fair to say there wouldn't be life, right? But we wouldn't have life like we know it since we are so reliant on nitrogen. Okay, so taking a look at this diagram, excuse me, nitrogen is in the atmosphere up here. And when I say that, I just mean it's like the air we breathe, right? So take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. Yesterday, we talked about how that's important for the carbon cycle, right? Respiration, I have to take oxygen in and I have to breathe carbon dioxide out. But it's also important because we're breathing in nitrogen. And nitrogen is actually most of our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is about 78% nitrogen. So a lot of people will think that our atmosphere is mostly oxygen because we're so reliant on oxygen for breathing, but that's just for part of our life, right? Nitrogen is also crucial. So the atmosphere is 78% nitrogen, but we can't just, breathe that nitrogen in and use it. So we are breathing the nitrogen in when we breathe, but we can't use it in that form, right? So the way that this happens and the way that the nitrogen gets what we call fixated, so nitrogen fixation, is there's bacteria in the earth. Okay, and these bacteria typically live within the roots of plants, and that's kind of a good look into what we're moving into tomorrow and next week. Is that's a symbiotic relationship, and what that means is this bacteria has a home in the roots, right? And you might think, well, the roots, that the bacteria are bad, right? Like the roots don't want to have bacteria, but no, these bacteria are doing something good. They take the nitrogen and they're able to change it, right? So they can digest this atmosphere and change it in a way that turns it into a form that the plants can then absorb through their roots. So this relationship between the bacteria and the roots is both ways, right? Like the roots provide a home for the bacteria, it provides them somewhere to live. And in return, the bacteria are providing this nitrogen in a form that the plants can absorb through their roots. Okay? And we talked about before, and if you're brand new, please, all these different forms of nitrogen and all these different types of bacteria and the different NOs and NHs, I don't need you to worry about that. The way that I'm explaining it is the way that I need you to know it. So saying like the nitrogen is just in a form that we can't use, right, when it's in the atmosphere, but then it goes into the earth, and might say, how does it go to the earth? Well, it rains, it snows, right, and it falls down to the earth, and these bacteria take it in, and they change it in a way that the plants can then absorb. That's the way I need you to think about it. Don't worry about all the letters, all the abbreviations, all the different names. Just think about it in those terms, okay? So now the plant has this nitrogen, and the nitrogen is also very important for the DNA of the plants, so the plants are reliant on that nitrogen, okay? Well, just like in the carbon cycle, when animals are getting sugar from the plants, same thing goes from the nitrogen. We eat plants, or other animals eat plants, and that's how we're getting that nitrogen that we need in our bodies, because those plants have that nitrogen in a form that the plants and us animals can now use, right? So let's kind of think about it real quick again. The nitrogen's in the air in a form we can't use. It rains, it snows, that nitrogen falls down to the earth. These bacteria that are living near the roots of these plants, they take that nitrogen and they fix it. And what that means, I know it sounds silly, they fix the nitrogen, right? Was it broken? No, but they're fixing this, and what that just means is they're turning it into a form that plants and animals can use. That's all I need you to think about, right? So the plants and animals now can get this nitrogen. It's absorbed through the plant roots, right? Now the plant has the nitrogen that it needs. Animals come along. I know there's not animals in this picture, but animals come along, eat the plants, and get the nitrogen they need. Okay? There's also a really cool way that nitrogen gets fixed naturally. Okay? So it takes a lot of energy in a natural event to do that. So a couple of the ways are lightning strikes. Lightning strikes are a natural way that nitrogen gets fixed, as well as volcanic eruptions, right? So that takes a lot of energy, that has a lot of energy in it. So those are two ways that nitrogen gets fixed naturally, and that's why in those areas we'll tend to get lots of new plant growth eventually, right? So that's kind of a quick rundown through this for you guys. Hopefully that is okay. Remember, I'm here, I'm sitting at my computer, I'm ready to help you. If you need to chat, if you want to have a live chat, if you need to post a question to me, to another person in the class, whatever you need, I'm sitting here, I'm ready to go. Please, 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 I want to help you guys. Hopefully this is making sense. Remember, your assignment today is the nitrogen cycle review, and then tomorrow come join us for a live class. We'll do a review, and then if we get enough people and you guys want to hang out for a little bit after our review, we'll play Kahoot. All right, the announcements are kicking me off of here, so I'll cut that video off now. Have a great day. See you later.